I'm going to talk about something a little different here. It seems to piss off a lot of people when I besmirch the name Fox News, but I'm going to link you to a video below of Fox Business that tries to make itself more legitimate than the normal Fox News network, but if you ask me, is even worse. It's even more concentrated, Republican, ultra-conservative porn. That's all it is. It's just political porn. John Stossel even has the fucking porn mustache, for crying out loud. Anyway, so they're talking about how the Muppets movie was promoting an anti-corporation, pro-green agenda. It hasn't done a lot of good, has it? Ever since my grandparents were little, there have always been shows coming out against corporations, against big business, against the plowing of the natural resources. What has it done? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And you know why it hasn't done anything? Because this propaganda is made by the very same corporations that are doing these things. It's called a joke. It's an inside joke amongst the corporate elite making fun of themselves because they know they can. They know that you're never going to do anything about it. They know you love it. You love your control. You love your subjugation. You love your iPhones. You love being surrounded by lies and bullshit that just numbs you down. And they can just talk about it. They can laugh. Yeah, we're sociopaths. Yeah, we're destroying the Earth's natural resources and killing people in droves in the third world with hard labor. And you know what? That's funny. Ha ha ha. To them, that's a joke. It's a sick joke, but it's a joke nonetheless. It's all a fucking joke. What this guy said, the guest said that essentially liberalism is trying to promote like the Matrix movie, where human beings are a virus upon the poor Earth. Did you actually watch the Matrix? That may have been what Agent Smith said, but Agent Smith was not the protagonist. Agent Smith was one of the bad guys. I say one because he wasn't the bad guy. He wasn't the Matrix. He was a virus. He was a variation of the programming of the Matrix. By Neo interfering with the Matrix's system and programming, it created a sentient agent, which became Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith became separate from the Matrix and developed a nihilistic approach because of that. He was no longer part of the Matrix, and he wasn't human. Thus, the only logical conclusion for him was that both were to blame. The Matrix was misguided, and human beings are to blame for his suffering. Even in the first movie, where he hinted that he had some semblance of sentience separate from the other agents, he said that he discovered that human beings were like a virus. They were like a plague of locusts, and that they just consumed and killed and until eventually they would wipe themselves out. And perhaps that is true, but Mr. Smith is the natural conclusion of cynicism. He's just purely cynical. And that is not what The Matrix tried to advocate as a movie. As a movie, it tried to advocate almost borderline Christian faith. A faith in a savior that would, enlighten humanity and save us from our own sins. And that until then, these militias would separate from the machine and try to just live their lives real. They would try to live in the real world with real consequences, with self-acceptance of their sinful ways, and try to better themselves. So, if you ask me, The Matrix is more of a Christian film than anything else. You might disagree with that, but you cannot say that the movie advocated that the humans were the villains, that the humans were just raping the Earth. Maybe the humans were responsible for that. They were responsible for the creation of the Matrix, but they, in and of themselves, did not want the Matrix. It was a special elite few that continued the Matrix, as the architect suggested. This is the 7th time we've done this, and we have become quite efficient at it. I'm paraphrasing. But the fact is, it's a very intertwined conspiracy-type film where it suggests that humans aren't fit to govern themselves. Not because somehow someone better will come along to do it for them, but because they want to be governed. They wanted the Matrix, and then when the Matrix turned on them, they wanted that too. Because the architect said that originally the Matrix was perfect, that people lived in a utopia, and that wasn't good enough for them. They didn't want to live in a utopia. So it's not suggesting the nihilistic approach that human beings are just bad and should be wiped out, or that, there's just no hope whatsoever. It just accepted this very dreary reality that human beings want to sin. It is in their nature, it is in their blood. They just want imperfection. When they are faced with the possibility of perfection and utopia and peace and love and serenity, they reject it. And you can't argue with that. You cannot say that that isn't true to some extent. And to say that that's simply a political propaganda piece for the left wing is just completely blindsided. It's just completely ignoring everything in between. And it's neither a right nor a left thing. It is the metaphysics of human beings. And it's insulting your intelligence to say that it's just a left-wing mouthpiece. Even Fox News, I'm underestimating it by saying it's just a right-wing mouthpiece. I mean, it is a right-wing mouthpiece, but there's more to it than that. It's the fact that people want a mouthpiece, whether it be right or left-wing, which, if you ask me, MSNBC and CNN are not by any means left-wing. They're just more moderate than Fox News. But the point is, people want a mouthpiece. People want to be lied to. They want to be subjugated. They want the imperfect matrix. And that's what the movie was talking about. And that's why it disturbs people so much, because it's true. People don't want to hear the truth, because the truth is, you are disgusting, you are stupid, and you want someone to have dictatorial power over you. That's what I talk about with moderators. There is nothing moderators can do to help you. They are not protecting you from anything. What are they protecting you from? Someone calling you gay? Ooh! Out of all the horrible things that have happened to me in life, being called gay and stupid is the least of my problems. Why do I need someone to basically just rape me whenever they want to, and delete my hard-worked content, and eject me from a forum just to be protected from somebody calling me gay and stupid? That makes no sense whatsoever. I do not put all the effort into my videos or my written content or anything to have some little twat come along and undo it. That makes no rational sense whatsoever. But that concept is lost to you, because you try to justify it as, the trolls and the spammers. No, the trolls and spammers are not the threat. The very idea of someone defining you as those things that has this authority to tell you that you're a troll or spammer is the threat. But you want that. But you will never be so honest and have the integrity or self-dignity to just say that you want that control, that you want that dictatorship, that you want someone to bully you and torment you and be above you. Because to do so would mean that you admitted your own human nature. And if you're willing to admit that, then you're probably smart enough to try to change it. Because that's no way to live. That is no way to stop our existence. We could go farther than that. We could do better than that. And you are not prepared to do that. You are not prepared to be better as an individual, and you're not prepared to want a better society. You want the imperfect matrix. And people that really got that movie will understand that. They won't think it's some Illuminati. They won't think it's some sort of, occult symbolism. It's just the simple fact that people want to be hurt. People want to be raped and killed and destroyed and enslaved, etc. If they didn't, then why the hell do they put up with it to such an extent? I can understand that you feel powerless. I can understand that you're afraid. I can understand that you're afraid to lose something. But when you realize you have nothing really to lose, and you realize that there's no rationale to it whatsoever, it's just senseless violence at every turn, what's stopping you then? What's stopping you from at least rejecting it on a moderate background? What I do here is not that big of a deal. I'm not throwing Molotov cocktails at people or anything like that. I am just on the internet, giving my opinion, trying to garner just a little bit of support, and, hopefully getting people to rub their brain cells together and think a little, and just giving some commentary. That's all I do. And occasionally I try to throw a proposition at one of your state representatives or something in the hopes that maybe the West won't be quite so bad. And everyone treats me like I'm batshit insane and want to destroy the world or rule it or whatever, like I'm a Saturday morning cartoon villain. No. You already wanted that, and you got that. You got that with the moderators, the Saturday morning cartoon villain that just wants to control you and will blow you up if you, disagree with him. If you contradict anything the moderator says, you're banned, gone, goodbye, That doesn't happen with me. I don't want to do that to you. I've offered plenty of times my former enemies and current enemies to join me. That, it affects you just as much as I, moderators. And that you're just not seeing it. You don't want to see it. And proof is they don't want to listen. They want to continue to believe Jim Prophet is just the worst of the worst. What am I supposed to do about that? Am I supposed to, just pin you down and force you to accept it? No. No, that's not going to solve anything. So I just do what I can here. With the resources that I'm given, with the, with the time I have, with the knowledge I have, I try to, just enlighten people just a little bit more. I'm not getting paid to do it. I'm not really getting anything out of it. I sure as hell am not getting the huge fan base that conspiracy buffs like Alex Jones or David Icke have. I ain't getting fucking anything out of it other than the hopes that tomorrow will be better than today. That's it. And that right there is what makes me the bad guy. Because I am not thinking like the primate that you evolved from. I am not thinking like someone that wants an alpha male to come around and smack me around and stick his dick in my ear. And it's sick. It's just sick and psychotic. And there's no need for it. So hopefully you learn something here, it makes you think a little, or even if you agree with me, maybe it gives you a new perspective, maybe it, clicks something in your brain and just moves you forward one step. That's what I try to do here. So, see you later.